The 2026 World Cup was supposed to crown the giants, but big nations are feeling the heat. The Germanys, the Netherlands, the teams everyone circled before a single ball was kicked. But over the last 48 hours, something strange has been happening in stadiums across North America, and football fans everywhere are asking the same question. Is this the year the underdogs finally take over the World Cup? Because right now, two of the tournament's biggest names are already on a plane home. Germany is out, the Netherlands is out, and the team that knocked Germany out wasn't a contender anyone had circled. It was Paraguay. So, what's really happening here? Let's set the scene. The round of 32 is football's first real gauntlet. It's the stage where group stage form means nothing, and one bad night can end a nation's tournament. This year, it's been brutal. Germany walked into their matchup with Paraguay as heavy favorites, four-time world champions, a defense built around veteran composure, and Manuel Neuer between the posts. On paper, this wasn't supposed to be close. But football doesn't read paper. Paraguay took the lead before halftime through a header from Julio Enciso, and they spent the rest of the match defending that lead with a discipline that frustrated Germany at every turn. Kai Havertz eventually leveled things in the second half, and Germany even thought they'd found a late winner in extra time, only for the goal to be wiped out by VAR for a foul in the build-up. It went to penalties, and that's when the real shock happened. Havertz missed, Nick Woltemade missed, Neuer made a heroic save to keep Germany alive, and then Jonathan Tah, of all people, skied his attempt over the bar. Paraguay converted the winner and sent four-time champions Germany home in the first knockout round, something that hasn't happened to this group since their last title back in 2014. Now, subscribe to the channel if you want every elimination and every shock result broken down like this throughout the tournament, because this is only the beginning of the story. Here's where things get interesting. Germany wasn't even the only giant to fall that night. The Netherlands, fresh off a dominant group stage, were also eliminated on penalties, this time by Morocco, after Issa Diop's stoppage-time goal dragged the match into extra time. Two major European nations gone within hours of each other, both on spot kicks. That's not a coincidence anymore. That's a pattern. And it's not just about who lost, it's about who's still standing. Brazil needed a 95th-minute winner from Gabriel Martinelli just to survive Japan, a team many expected them to handle comfortably. Canada, playing as co-hosts, beat South Africa to advance, giving the tournament's home nations something to genuinely celebrate. And then there's Cape Verde, a nation of fewer than 600,000 people who have become the smallest country in World Cup history to reach the knockout stage, doing it in their tournament debut, no less.
This matters because it tells you something about the structure of this World Cup specifically. With 48 teams instead of 32, the group stage was always going to produce more variance, more surprise qualifiers, more matchups where a smaller nation gets a genuine shot against a traditional power. The bigger issue is that those smaller nations aren't just showing up anymore, they're winning. Compare that to previous tournaments. In 2018 and 2022, Germany's group stage exits were embarrassing, but they were group stage exits, the kind that get written off as bad luck in a short tournament. This is different. This is a team that finished top of their group, that looked composed against Curaçao and Ivory Coast, getting beaten in a knockout match by a side many casual fans couldn't have named the captain of a month ago. FIFA expanded this tournament to bring more nations into the spotlight, and right now, that expansion is producing exactly the chaos it was always capable of producing. For the players, this is the cruelest version of football there is. Imagine training for 4 years, qualifying through a brutal campaign, and then watching your entire World Cup end in a shootout because one penalty drifted 6 inches too high. That's what happened to Jonathan Tah, and you could see it on his face the moment the ball left his foot. For fans, the emotional whiplash is just as real. German supporters who traveled across an ocean for this tournament now have nothing left to watch from their own team, while Paraguayan and Moroccan fans are experiencing something close to euphoria, a David and Goliath moment that football simply doesn't produce very often at this level. Stadiums in Boston and Houston have been electric the last 2 nights, not because of who was expected to win, but because nobody actually knew who would. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this kind of breakdown, because we've still got the round of 16, the quarterfinals, and a final that's looking more unpredictable by the day. So where does this leave the tournament heading into July? The best-case scenario for FIFA is exactly what's happening right now, a World Cup that feels genuinely unpredictable, where smaller federations get their moment and casual fans tune in just to see who falls next. That's good for the sport long-term, even if it's painful for the traditional powers in the short term. The worst realistic scenario is a final stretch that feels disjointed, without enough of the household names fans expected to see deep into the tournament, which could affect viewership for some of the marquee broadcast windows. FIFA won't say that publicly, but it's a real conversation happening behind the scenes. What's clear is that nobody, not pundits, not bookmakers, not even the players themselves, can confidently predict who's lifting the trophy in East Rutherford on July 19th. So here's where we land. Germany is out. The Netherlands is out. Cape Verde made history just by being here, and they're still playing. Canada is alive as co-hosts, and the round of 16 hasn't even finished setting itself yet, with France, Sweden, Ivory Coast, and Norway all in action as we speak. What do you think? Is this the most unpredictable World Cup in modern history, or are we just one good Brazil performance away from things looking normal again? Which underdog do you think goes furthest from here? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to be there for every twist this tournament throws at us, subscribe to the channel now.